If you hear any strange noises, sorry, but the washing machine's on, and it's still hot here. Oh, unbelievably so. Okay. This video is about why you shouldn't take medical nor dietary advice from people on social media. Now, with this, I am including both blogs as well as YouTube. Now, you'll understand in a minute. And there are 3 women, 2 Australian, 1 American, that I will use as examples. And I will explain why I'm using one of them. Now, the reason why you should never take medical advice, even those that have medical training that are on YouTube, such as John Gilmore, Dr. Pimple Popper, etc., they actually say, don't do what we're doing, go to medical professionals and get them to do it for you, because that's what they're trained to do. Now, when you're talking about your run-of-the-mill, which is the people we're talking about here, it will show you why you should never listen to people like this. Now, number 1, they're not medically trained, and they have no medical training whatsoever or medical knowledge. It is not safe to do because they haven't got medical training, they haven't got a clue what they're on about. They don't know your medical history, they don't know your family's medical history, they don't know your body chemistry, your genetic makeup, whether you have a history of X, Y, and Z, they don't know that. So you taking their advice, you shouldn't. Now, the reason this video was spawned was I mentioned in my video last week about a certain person that she had come across a young woman who was a viewer of Joy's, and this young girl had taken Joy's medical advice by using garlic, etc., and meditation and so on for her health issues, because she had similar symptoms to Joy, so she thought what was working for Joy would work for her. And that worried me, and it still does. There is stuff going on with Joy at the minute that I will either talk about later on this week or next week, once I have a bit more information. I am also going to look up the whole samples thing, because I'm getting people are saying yes you can, some people are saying no you can't, and I need to find out specifically in her area if it is possible, and if so, how that happens. And I've got a couple of ideas on how to do that, so, but that might take a couple of weeks to do. So, but don't worry, that video is coming along with some other things that have come up about Joy. Now, this particular person who saw this youngster has kept an eye on this person. Obviously he's as worried as I am, if not more so, about this young girl and how listening to Joy's medical advice could potentially harm her, which is extremely likely. And Joy is saying, I healed myself with XYZ in the past is dangerous. She's done this in the past with she said she healed a cyst on her neck with meditation, garlic and something or other in a radio interview, and then on a blog post she actually said that she did garlic and meditation along with antibiotics and other things. No, your antibiotics clear the infection up, not the garlic. Well, garlic can be good to help with infections, not an cyst or an abscess. It's not going to help with that. Then there's Freely, whose advice is anecdotal and pertains mainly to her, and she's saying that it will work for everybody when everybody's body chemistry is different. She claims that her rotel-4 diet will help fix metabolic damage and will give you weight loss and will allow you to heal things. And you can eat more than your daily allowance of calories and still lose weight. There are other people that do things that are even more dangerous in my mind. Luckily they don't have a huge subscriber count, and these are people who drink turpentine, for health reasons, take zinc for health reasons, drink urine for health reasons, drink or take silver for health reasons, crystals, religion and meditation. Now, religion is a video on its own, because there have been a lot of cases where people have thought, my religion, my child, I'm going to heal them how I want to heal them, how my faith tells me I can heal them. So they take them to church and pray over them, and then they die 3 days later of meningitis, a condition that is extremely treatable if taken to the hospital in time. But like I said, that's a video on it. So, right, I'm going to go into specifics with each person. The third person is Belle Gibson, and I will explain her a little bit in this video, but I'm hoping to do a more in-depth video on her on Friday for you guys, because it's an extremely good case. And in that video I'll talk more about the 2 videos that detail the Belle Gibson case a lot better than I do. Right, why is this dangerous? Right, we'll talk about Joy first, my favourite person. If someone has something like fibro, EDS, lupus, Lyme's, MS, ME, etc., medical professionals are the ones with the training and the ones with the knowledge that you should listen to when it comes to your treatment. These conditions have no cure at all, and some of them are genetic. EDS is one that's genetic. I should know I have it. While meditation can help with pain control, it can't cure it, which it can't. Herbs can help, as most drugs are, or should I say a lot of drugs are taken from certain plants or herbs. In drugs that are at a higher concentration, you'd have to eat a hell of a lot of poppy seeds before you got high, put it that way. Because morphine comes from certain species of poppy seeds. Antibiotics comes from a product of mould, and there are other forms like aloe vera, which is a form of cacti. It's good for burns, but obviously like skin burns, it's like blister burns, those type of things. But the deep skin burns, it doesn't touch them. Then you have mint can help boost your immune system. Witch hazel can help clean cuts because it's an antiseptic, and so on. And while they can help, they are not as strong as some of the things that they have in hospitals and that doctors have access to and that doctors can prescribe for you. And for you to take somebody's medical advice who has no medical degree at all, or isn't even a nurse, is worrying, because you're talking about somebody who is a social media presence. There is other stuff going on with Joy, but like I say, I'll mention that in another video. But anybody who takes her medical advice, they are risking, if not their sanity, their life, because it's dangerous. Right, Freely. Another one of my favourite people. Rotovore can't heal metabolic damage. There is arguments whether metabolic damage actually exists or not. There are some people that believe it does, some people that believe it doesn't. And while the professionals are saying that it doesn't, there are some instances where you can think, yeah, I can kind of see why. Yeah. Just because today it works for her doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. Her body chemistry is different from mine. I will use me as a perfect example. Right, she eats, God knows how many bananas a day. She eats nothing but fruit and vegetables every day. She works out 5 or 6 hours a day. Me, I don't eat that much. I usually have 1 big meal a day and 1 small meal a day. And I can't exercise because if I do, I'm likely to dislocate something. In actual fact, just sitting here right now is making my hip worse. I have a medical condition where even if I just move the wrong way, bang, boing, joint pops out. So working out isn't really an option for me. Also, my thyroid doesn't work properly, so that means that my metabolism is extremely slow. At the moment, we're purposely over-treating my thyroid to try and combat the chronic fatigue. Not that it's working, but it's helping me lose a bit of weight, so it does have a bonus, a small. It is helping me lose a bit of the weight, so it is helping a little bit, but not that much. Right. Veganism has deficiencies in a lot of areas, especially B12, protein and iron. Most people who are vegan, and I will point you to my previous videos where I have links and everything that back this up, will actually say that humans aren't supposed to eat a grain diet. So us expecting to get B12 out of grains is pretty damn hard. There are only some people that have the enzymes to be able to do that. Now, if we were meant to get those things from plant sources, our appendix would still work, but it doesn't. Our body is tailor-made to extract those vitamins out of meat. Meat is made of protein, it's made of iron, it's made of B12 and several other things. And our bodies can pull it out of the B12 a lot easier than it can out of grains and plants, because that's what our bodies are meant to do. High level of weight gain is likely on the Rotal 4 diet due to the high calorie count. Now, it does work for some, but it doesn't work for everybody. There is one woman who she's still on the Rotal 4 diet, she's still a big fan of Freely and German Rider, etc. And beforehand she was a supermodel, she was a model, she was beautiful, she was slim, she was good looking. Now I'm not saying she isn't good looking, because she still is good looking, however, she ballooned, she's put weight on. And I will try and pop some before and after pictures of her and of other people that have put weight on the Rotal 4 diet. I will also link some videos either in the iCard or down below about the Rotal 4 diet, how it made people gain weight. It's also one of those things that help people with their eating disorders. Now, by that I mean that they had eating disorders previously and they've then started on the Rotal 4 diet, and then during the Rotal 4 diet those bad habits have creeped back in again. Now, from a family that has a history of eating disorders, that's not a good thing. It's one of the reasons why my mum and don't possess weighing scales. People say to me, well, why don't you possess weighing scales? It's like, because we have a history of anorexia. So, Belle Gibson, I'll give you a brief intro. Like I said, I'm planning on doing a video on her on Friday. But she said she did a lot of blog posts, and she had a eating book out, and she had an app and several other things, where she said that she'd healed a brain tumour by eating a clean, organic, vegan diet and unconventional medical means. Turns out she never had brain cancer, and it all started this one night where she was apparently in recovery in hospital when she wasn't. She can't even remember what her real age is. But people took what she was doing as medical advice, and we don't know if it's cost anybody their lives. There was a young boy who followed her medical advice. I don't know whether she's been sued with relation to that case or not, I'm not sure. There is, like I said, I'm going to do a video on her on Friday, so I'll be researching that tonight after I've edited this. And while I'm editing this, I'll finish my book and send it off to the boss. But it's one of those things, you don't lie about a brain cancer tumour and then go, oh, sorry, when you found out. Now, in conclusion, do not ever, this is a word of warning, take medical advice of anybody from social media, even if it's a doctor, because they don't know your medical history. Now, here in the UK, access to medical treatment is a lot easier, a lot cheaper, and a lot more straightforward than it is in America. In America, yes, there's a lot of things that people can do in America that we can't do over here, and in some respects it's a lot faster in America than it is over here. However, regardless of what country you're in, whether that country's got free healthcare, semi-free healthcare, or you pay for it, there are ways of getting healthcare, whether you are accepted to Medicaid or part of the Affordable Care Act, or in this country we have the NHS. I know Canada has something similar to what we have. In Europe there's a lot of countries that have free medical care, lots of countries don't. Again, it depends on your country and your personal circumstances. But never take medical or dietary advice of somebody from social media, because they don't know your history. And don't treat your condition, if, say for example, you have EDS like I do, and you've got the same type I do, and you were to treat it the same way I'm treating mine, that wouldn't necessarily work for you. Perfect example, me, my mum, my cousin, all three of us have EDS. Two of us have diagnosis, which is me and my cousin, and my mum's the link, so ipso facto, she has it. Now, in respect to this, just because the three of us have the exact same condition, it doesn't present the same in all three of us. My mum's major issue is spinal instability. My major issue is my hip and my nerve damage, and my cousin's major issue is dislocations, but hers are the type that she can pop in and pop out straight away. Doesn't necessarily work that way for me, unfortunately. And it's not because of my weight, it's because I used to weightlift. So, but just because we have the same medical condition doesn't mean the three of us are getting treated the same by our doctors, because we're not. Another example, part of the same example, my mum can't take anything with aspirin because she's allergic. I can. So there's lots of drugs that I can take that she can't. So there's lots of drugs they can try me on, but she can't go on because she's allergic to them. It also works the other way around, but because she's over 60, they will put her on low doses of morphine, etc. But they won't put me on them here, because they will ravage my body, and it's dangerous, obviously. It also depends upon the different tolerances of drugs. I have a high tolerance for drugs. Paracetamol doesn't touch anything with me. Ibuprofen, not much at all. Most of the painkillers that I'm on, and I'm on a substantial amount, just about touch it. I will show you my med box, because you're currently sat on it. This is my med box. And inside there's a lot of tablets. That doesn't include my iron, my thyroid, and my aspirin inhalers. They're downstairs. I have one up here, which is here. I have a blue one as well. I don't need them that much. This is my main inhaler. But doctors are trained for over 10 years to deal with medical issues, and they are trained to take into consideration your family history and your own history to help differentiate a perfect treatment for you that allows them to be able to treat you in every sense of the word and everything. So, don't take dietary advice from someone who has no nutritional certification. Freely tries to say that she has, and she did an interview, I think it was on Australian breakfast TV. It was either Australian or British, I can't remember. And they actually asked her, do you have qualifications? She said yes. They said what? She told them. And then it was either later that day or the following day, the actual institute she said that she'd got these qualifications actually said no, she hasn't. We don't have her on our records under any name. Don't do it because it's dangerous. It's dangerous for your own health and anybody else that follows your advice. Should you follow somebody else's advice? And there is a possibility that even now people have died because they've taken medical advice off social media personalities. And that petrifies me. I've always said the condition I've got. Everybody knows that listens to my channel. Now, just because I have that condition doesn't mean I'm going to tell somebody how I'm being treated so they can be treated the exact same way, because it's not going to happen. I can understand Joy wanting to tell people she has a medical condition and how she's treating it. She should say, however, that this is her belief system, and that if you have a medical condition, speak to your medical provider first before following any regime on anything. And the same with Freely. She should do a disclaimer, but neither of them do. And that scares the crap out of me. And then obviously there are those that drink like turpentine and when it says on the bottle that should you ingest any of this, please speak to a medical person. Medical service urgently. Urgently. Oh God. These people really, really do make me so mad, it's untrue. Oh. If you are aware of anybody who has taken medical advice from anybody on YouTube, send them this video. And those that have been sent this video, I hope you've listened. If you have a medical condition or you want to do a proper diet, speak to your doctor. If you have a medical condition, your doctor is the one that should diagnose it. Your doctor is the one that should tell you how to treat it. Because you don't know if you treat it the same way Joy's treating hers, if you are going to realise you have sensitivity to something that she's taken and it hurts you to the point where it could stop you being who you are. There are cases of people that just take one tablet of it, but whether it's a recreational drug or a painkiller or whatever, and they end up in hospital because they have a reaction to it. Don't run that risk. If you are going to take medication, speak to a medical professional first. If you are going to do a diet, speak to a dietitian first. Somebody who has qualifications, not somebody who says she has qualifications and doesn't. Now, while I respect some vegans, Freely's not one of them, because frankly, she scares me, and this is my second video on her, and I don't care if she comes after me, because I've heard it all before. At the end of the day, people like Joy and Freely are dangerous on so many levels. There is other stuff going on with Joy at the moment that I will be covering on a video either this week or next week. But I'm just waiting to see what happens, because there is a lot of things that are going on at the moment that need to be resolved before I can speak on them. Because I don't want to make a video and then something happen and then having to make another one I don't want to turn into a joy where I'm making 5 videos a day. And also I'm going to look into the whole samples thing, because some people are saying yes you can get samples, some people are saying you can't. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to see if I can get that information somewhere. So anyway, with that being said, stay safe, have fun, be good, and I will see you on Friday.